Harley Breen is a comedian, TV and radio personality. He is regularly seen on the Channel 10 circuit on shows like Hughesy, We Have a Problem, The Project and his own show Taboo. His award-winning comedy shows are sold out and celebrated right across the country. And we're lucky enough to have him here today before the launch of the second series of Drunk History Australia, which starts on Network 10 tonight at 9:40. Harley Breen, welcome to the Ben Rob and Robbo Show.
Oh, thank you very much for having me.
Mate, it is a pleasure to have you here. You are a survivor. You are one of the few, if only, shows that came across on Pilot Week that's still going, and Drunk History is hilarious. What makes being drunk so entertaining when it comes to retelling Australian history?
Look, I think because Australian history, a lot of it, is certainly the story that I'm telling tonight on Drunk History, really suits being drunk. Because
That's true.
I don't know if you know the story of Burke and Wills, but those guys were loose.
Yeah. Well, that certainly came across in your telling, I'll tell you that.
Well, you know what? You get to play amongst some amazing people, obviously some familiar faces that we know from Channel 10, but then also some newbies. Who are the big standout performers in Series 2?
Well, I think it's a wonderful bit of casting to have my drunken retelling of Burke and Wills reenacted by Osher Günsberg and James Matheson. What a reunion. What a way to put them back together. And also one of my great mates and comedy legend, Cam Knight is also in my particular episode. And I do have it on good authority. I'm good friends with both Osher and Cam, and both of them were texting me during the filming going, it's very hard to lip sync to your drunken slurring.
Hey, Harley, I've got to ask, because I've watched tonight's episode and it is hilarious, but I found it interesting with the whole series that it doesn't start off sober and get progressively drunk. You're pretty much already there when you start telling the story. So is that part of the process? How many drinks do you have before you get going?
Mate, I'm drunk now.
As am I.
Ready for Series 3.
No, I'll be honest. The rules in this country, and I've said this a couple of times this morning on the publicity trail, and I say it with great respect to the country that I live in and that it's raised me. But we think that we are very laid back and very easygoing as Australians, but we're not. We're actually incredibly rule based, and we do have some pretty strict rules around the responsible service of alcohol. And Channel 10 and the production company certainly adhered to that. And so that is my official line on that question.
Oh, does that mean you're sober and it's all acting?
No, definitely I was not sober. No, I was drinking my favourite drink, which is called a Boilermaker, which is just one name for two drinks. That is... So a Boilermaker is just a whiskey and a beer at the same time. It's just a name justifying being double parked.
Now, where are you coming from today? Because hopefully you're not drunk and driving, but you're in the back of a car somewhere. Where are you?
Well, see, I live out on a bit of property with no reception, so I had to jump in my car and drive up to Wombat Hill Gardens in Daylesford, which is right about an hour and a half out of Melbourne in the People's Republic of Country Victoria.
You're not actually too far away from where I am, because I'm stuck in Melbourne. I know that you're also a Melbourne man yourself. So look, I know exactly where you are. I've been there before. Now, I want to quickly ask you, obviously COVID-19 hit the comedy world, and that hit the comedy world pretty hard. But your next show, Only Words, is rescheduled for December. Tickets are on sale now, just to quickly let anyone know, and hopefully everything stays on track. But how much has that show evolved or changed? And is it still going to be exactly the same way that you planned, or has it sort of been, has it given you more time to plan that show, or what sort of things have changed with it?
Well, I'm sorry to ruin your absolutely beautiful plug for my live show, but we have actually had to reschedule that show again. For the third time. It's just, look, it's a really difficult thing. Stand-up comedy is my first love. I absolutely love being in front of live audiences, but there's probably not a worse job in the world of COVID-19 than being in a room jam-packed full of people laughing mouths open in your direction. So We're just
Fair
pausing
point.
at this stage. But to go to the second part of your question, I really don't know. I've done a few gigs online in this kind of format, which, to be honest with you, I cannot wait until that ends because it's horrible. It's going to be. There's no way I can do the show that I was doing prior to COVID-19. I respond to the world around me. I talk about the things that I have in my life. Only Words was sort of loosely based around my show Taboo and around having to choose your words really carefully around some really intense subject matter. So in that fashion, that element of the show will stay. But in terms of a post-COVID-19 world or a living with a new COVID-19 normal, there's just sort of no way around not being able to discuss it. But then the problem is, how hacked does it come? Because every comedian is going to be discussing it.
Yeah, that's a very good point, actually. And it has had a huge impact on the stand-up comedy. People are losing a lot of money because of it. There's a lot of businesses suffering, but the arts community is certainly suffering. Look, before we let you go, let me ask you about this. You were basically a bridesmaid at Ben's wedding on Hughesy, We Have a Problem. Do you remember that? And what do you remember about being there?
Yeah, it was lovely. Did you actually get married on the show? Because maybe I thought I was on Drunk History because I've forgotten that bit.
No, I kind of stitched him up with this one because I was like, Harley's not going to remember every time he was on television. But I will tell you something, and I don't think I've said this to anyone. I couldn't actually get the ring off. So that cheap ring that Hughesy gave me to get me married with, he put it on the wrong finger, and I actually can't take it off. And so it's permanently on there. So anyway, we didn't officially get married after that.
How to get that off. If you just get some tooth floss, Google search this so you do it the proper way, but get some tooth floss and thread one bit underneath and then wrap it very, very tightly around your finger, and then the bit that's underneath, you pull that and it will pull it off your finger. But like I said, Google search it. There'll be a video showing you how to do it.
Wow, there you go. You learn something new on the Ben Robin Robbo Show every day. Don't forget, Drunk History starts tonight on Channel 10 and the Win Network at 9:40. It is well worth a watch. And Edmonds is also hilarious in her bit tonight. Harley Breen, thank you for being with us on the Ben Robin Robbo Show.
Good on you guys. Thanks for having me.
It's the Ben Robin Robbo Show.